EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. And now we go down to the first hole. Getting ready to start the round. Frank, what is the importance of getting off to a good start?
It's imperative, Rich, really. Try and find your rhythm, conditions of the golf course. Really get into the round as quick as you can.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Good lie in the fairway, and a good chance to make something happen here. Well, this is the kind of wind that separates the great players from the average players. You really have to be strong to handle these kinds of winds. That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Well, the time is now to start making birdies, and there we go. One on the board, and suddenly inside the top 20.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of in that, but really, you've got to be aggressive from here on in.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not quite what he was hoping for, the tee shot in the bunker. You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Solid par to remain 1 under. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo back with you at the third hole here at the Cliffs, and this is a hole that offers up a chance to put a red number on the board, Frank.
It certainly does. A good drive finding this very narrow fairway will certainly give you the opportunity to reach the green in two. Stray a little left, either with the drive or the second, and all of a sudden you might realize this par 5 has teeth.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Birdie try up next. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
And we pick up action at the 4th. Frank, I've been impressed with the play to this point early in the round.
Yeah, it's solid without being spectacular, and that's actually a huge compliment.
Good contact, good result. Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
This is a cross-country special. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Clean this up with a tap. That takes him to 1 under on the day. Now at the 5th here at Lighthouse Point, it's a par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
When you stand on this tee, Rich, you don't see any fairway bunkers, but be careful. It can certainly fool you. The goal really with the Cliffs course is to find fairways.
That is just a beautiful shot. Frank, straight uphill with this approach shot, what do you have to factor in terms of club selection and setup over the ball?
Well, you're going to have to take at least an extra club to make up for that added elevation. And also, it's tougher to get onto that front foot.
That was a solid strike and a good result. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. Young star makes his birdie. Now at the 6th hole, it's a par 3, just under 200 yards. Where's the challenge here, Frank?
Well, you've got to love that bunker on the left side, Rich, especially because it's shaped like a letter L. You've got to fly that. Green's not too deep, so really the challenge is trying to flight that ball in amongst the breeze should it kick up.
Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Holding steady now at 2 under par. Par 4 7th, only 370 yards. Frank, decision to be made off that tee.
It is. I walked this hole, Rich, to the narrowest point of the fairway. It's 278 yards. And if you want to carry that left side, you're going to have to be strong, 300 yards. So really, I don't know if driver's the play. Maybe even 3 wood's too much. You might have to throttle back even further. So the hole might be short. You just might get a little bit of a longer second shot than what the scorecard would normally allow you.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
So a tester from 4 feet. And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
Another par 3. We're at the 8th. It is only 165 yards. Good-looking shot right here. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. And now he has this for the birdie. Moves into second place with that birdie. We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off in.
He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there.
Oh, huge.
Ooh.
Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. That one ends up in the rough.
Oh, that went sideways. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Getting set now over the putt. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
It certainly doesn't hurt it.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back nine. The second shot now to the par 4. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. 18-footer. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold. Very bold.
Showing no signs of weakness. That's a good putt right there. Stays at 4 under. Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards. And more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up.
It's no snack, though.
Beautiful touch. Nice putt. 12th hole now, and Frank, the long hitters could have an advantage here.
If they want to take a very dangerous line over that left side, this is really where the shot maker has the advantage. That hole bending completely to the left. You'd like to hit a draw there, so use those bunkers down the through side of the fairway and then just sort of shape that ball towards the green. Interesting shaped green, really 3 different sections to this, and of course 3 bunkers, each protecting a different portion. That's off the beaten track. It's got 5 minutes to find it.
And setting up here in the rough. Nice approach shot. We'll be happy with that. So just a formality now. Did the job right there. On to the 13th, and Frank, I love golf courses where you run into something you've never seen before. I have never played a par 5 of 700 or more yards. Here it is. They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Good lie in the fairway. Good chance to make something happen here. Frank, how impressive has this round been considering the strong winds?
Oh, it's remarkable, Rich. You look at everybody else out there struggling. This has been a round to savor.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Good swing, good shot yet again. And they're about 14 feet from the hole. Good shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Has it. Now 7 under for the tournament. Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water. Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. That's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But there's enough green left of the flag here. That's really what you've got to be looking at, that front left section.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, a par here, that's just fine. The round continues at Lighthouse Point, and Frank, the 15th hole is a par 4, only 387 yards. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Oh, that's fine.
Always so nice, Frank, when that gleaming white golf ball is sitting up on those emerald fairways, the way this one is.
The game almost appears easy when one is playing their second shot from the middle of the fairway, and you quickly forget how difficult it can be. You look left or right, the game becomes much harder.
Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. Oh, I thought he had that. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. Let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in. A cursory look at the scorecard, Rich, and, well, it looks hard at 240 yards, but that elevation is going to chew off quite a bit of yardage off the scorecard. Really, it's a good chance for a birdie on this closing stretch. V-shaped green, as long as you're on the right section of the green, you could have a chance for birdie. This is not heading in the right direction.
You know, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult line. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Not a problem there, Rich.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. 17th hole is another par 5 over 600 yards. You get a terrific view of Juniata Crossway Bridge just ahead. And Frank, if you jump over that bridge, you can get a dynamite lobster roll at Nielsen's Lobster Shack. I don't know if you've ever had it.
Oh,
but
it's one of the best.
It just adds to sort of the charm of this area. But what a hole this is.
S-shaped par 5. You can see it bending to the right off the tee, and then the hole starts to go the other way with magnificent view of the bridge you're just referring to. Reachable for the longest hitters, but once again, avoid the bunkers, and they're all down the right side.
Third shot, looking for a good one.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. And getting ready for the putt. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
As his par. Frank, as we arrive here at 18, I'm thinking about what we so often hear up here in New England. You can't get there from here, or can you at this par 4 finishing hole?
The ball just took off the face. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frankie, he put the thumb down on that one.
It's still going. Look, you've got to get that thumb going as quick as you can. That is hot warp speed.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Just continuing to play some really good golf. 8 under par for the championship. So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. Let's see what they do from a good lie in the fairway, 180 yards to go.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That will be a great look at birdie. Birdie try again here today. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Getting set now over the putt. So, hanging in down the stretch with a par. Now at the second here at Lighthouse Point, Frank, this is some tough par 3.
If you want to try and really break the hole down and be a purist here, Rich, you'd like to hit a little cut into this green, something that moves away from the water and the cliff back towards that bunker. That would be the perfect shot to hit. But it's such a difficult par 3. Anything on the green would be good here. Now, that birdie has to feel even better, Rich, with everything so tight at the top.
Right in the middle of a Donnybrook at this point. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo back with you at the third hole here at the Cliffs. And this is a hole that offers up a chance to put a red number on the board, Frank.
It certainly does. A good drive finding this very narrow fairway will certainly give you the opportunity to reach the green in 2. Straight a little left, either with the drive or the second, and all of a sudden you might realize this par 5 has teeth.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Birdie try up next. Birdie putt coming up. A par on this hole yesterday. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Fourth hole, I'm looking for a quality start. It's 411 yards and a par 4.
No fairway bunkers or bunkers really to contend with here. Cliffs to the left and also water on that side. But one of the wider fairways on this front side, made up for by a very small green.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
I must say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Oh, without a doubt, that will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. Now at the 5th here at Lighthouse Point, to par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
When you stand on this tee, Rich, you don't see any fairway bunkers, but be careful. It can certainly fool you. The goal really with the Cliffs course is to find fairways.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Well, certainly playable from here. Ball is in the first cut. Not too bad.
Well, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. It's got 5 minutes to find it.
Really well done. Just inside of 5 feet. Bogey here yesterday. Chance to better that today. And he makes it for par. Par 3/6 is relatively short, 198 yards, Frank.
But this one, really, you've got to go airborne here. That bunker that protects the left side and front, you've got to carry that and get it to land soft so it doesn't skip through the back of the screen.
That is classy.
No chance of going in.
This is been good to him. Birdie yesterday. He's trying for another one today. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Now to the 7th hole here at Lighthouse Point. Frank, we all love the shorter par 4s.
There's so many decisions to be made here at 7. If you look at the scorecard, it's not very long, but when you start to flash your driver down that right side, you'll notice that fairway gets very narrow. So the decision is really, that's the prudent play or not. From there, it's just a short iron in, and you should be looking at birdie.
This is a good-looking shot. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
But the short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. Locked in on the read and speed. That's the idea. Just knock it in. Another par 3. We're at the 8th. It's only 165 yards, Frank. Getting set at the 8th hole. It's a par 3 of 165 yards. Break it down for us, partner.
This gets really narrow in the middle of this green, Rich. That's sort of the biggest problem. Matter of fact, we had 12 yards from that left side to the right in the middle. And the green itself actually is 3 times that in length, 36 yards. So straightness is the key here.
Right in the heart. Now to the par 5 9th. Frank, what are we looking at here?
Well, for the longer hitters, it's actually a chance to reach a par 5 and 2. 300 yards is where that fairway starts to bend more to the left. Oh, he's winding this one up. Does he have the power, though? Grab the fire extinguisher. Put out the... That ball is on fire. It's melting going through the air.
That, Frank, is position A.
Would you like to have that in your bag every day?
Love it.
Second shot. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. Well, they don't come around too often. Opportunities for eagle. You want to seize it if you get the chance. This is a good one here. Oh, yeah, an eagle. What a putt. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Just pulverized that golf ball. Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Yeah, sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Nice putt. Count it. Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it. It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
He'll need to be strong with this. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Moving on to the 12th hole now. Par 4, 439 yards. 12th hole now, and Frank, the long hitters could have an advantage here.
If they want to take a very dangerous line over that left side, this is really where the shot maker has the advantage. That hole bending completely to the left. You'd like to hit a draw there, so use those bunkers down the through side of the fairway and then just sort of shape that ball towards the green. Interesting shaped green, really 3 different sections to this, and of course 3 bunkers, each protecting a different portion.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
And he's made the green. Just a couple of feet. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Well, well, well. What do we have here, partner? The par 5 13th, or is it a par 8? I can't tell.
It looks like a misprint, Rich. 702 yards, and not only that, too, they put the 2 fairway bunkers in a perfect place. Perfect place if they want to annoy your tee shot. It's going to take 310, 320 yards just to get past that. Then you've got a long, long way to go. And, of course, remember when you're on 10, this is the shared green. So 13 and 10, this is where they meet up again at the end of that long, long walk.
And from the fairway for his second shot here.
I'm loving that balance. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This has really been a good bounce-back round. Slow at the start, now they're picking up some speed. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Par yesterday, now for birdie.
More hope and determination in that putt.
Trying to grind out a par here. Needs it. So has the par. Moving on to the next hole in the lead, Frank is very much intact. Now at the par 3 14th, over another body of water, Frank, you could make some big numbers on this golf course. I would think if you walk out of here today having shot under par, you have to be really happy.
Certainly is big boy golf playing around the cliffs at Lighthouse Point, Rich. And this is another example here at this beefy par 3, 240 yards. You see Lake Zimmer protects the front of this green and to the right. It's obviously where they get all their irrigation water from. But it's enough green left of the flag here. That's really what you've got to be looking at, that front left section. We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I've got to disagree with that. Lag putting, it's just about taking the strain off the next one. There's always other holes to be played.
From that distance, you settle for 2 putts. Did the job right there. 15th hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Yeah, second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand, left, and that little pot bunker on the right. And you should be set up with a relatively short iron in to a green that really, the only problem is if you go long.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Birdie try up next. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Just has the feel today. Time to make a move, the closing stretch here at number 16, par 3, 241 yards. Frank, just a beautiful day out there today, but there are some challenges.
Yeah, those tricky winds up there, you've really got to focus on exactly how strong it is in what direction, because it's very easy to make the mistake of hitting the wrong club out here. You make a mistake with the wrong club choice, even a good swing is not going to get rewarded. Safely on deck.
On the green in regulation. They par yesterday. This one for birdie. Wow, I thought he made that. That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance platform.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
That's good work. That's a good par right there. Now at the 17th, and Frank, a chance to make a birdie. Who knows, with a couple of huge pokes, you could make Eagle 3. This is a pretty stout hole at a little bit more than 600 yards.
It is, especially if that breeze comes off the water into your face. But normally you're protected here because the hills on the left will block that breeze. And bunkers all the way down the right side, you can see that. But yeah, you're right, 2 big hits. And you might just reach this par 5 and 2. Birdie, perhaps even eagle on a good day.
Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green. and instead opted for fairway.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. And getting ready for the putt.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Frank, as we arrive here at 18, I'm thinking about what we so often hear up here in New England. You can't get there from here, or can you at this par 4 finishing hole? Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity.
There's an awkward length. Oh, another one goes in. Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic.
Oh, if this is up, it's good.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. This is the second shot at the par 4.
It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
He'll need to be strong with this. Pretty good shot right there. Settles in over the putt. Good effort and good par putt. Now at the second here at Lighthouse Point, Frank, this is some tough par 3.
If you want to try and really break the hole down and be a purist here, Rich, you'd like to hit a little cut into this green, something that moves away from the water and the cliff back towards that bunker. That would be the perfect shot to hit. It's such a difficult par 3. Anything on the green would be good here.
It's a good-looking putt right here. I don't like it.
No, Rich, that was a huge putt. You don't expect to make them from that distance.
Frank, I like the mix of holes as we start out here at Lighthouse Point. Tough par 4, then a par 3.
When he goes after it like he is here.
I mean, that is one of the hardest drives I've ever seen. Just let it rip.
Second shot. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's no snack, though.
Beautiful stroke right there. Finds the bottom of the cup with ease. Well, here at the par 4 fourth, 411 yards, Frank, this is the kind of hole where you want to pull out the cell phone and maybe take a few pictures because the views are absolutely amazing.
And you also see why this golf course is called the Cliffs, that's for sure. Great vistas. This front nine completely lines the coast, so you're going to need to keep it fairly straight on this golf course. This hole in particular, though, the fairway is actually rather generous, so you do get a little bit of reprieve off the tee, and you really want to hit the fairway because that green is very tiny, Rich.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Trying to make yet another birdie. So, Frank, what do you think of the start so far?
Rock solid. Very impressed.
Now at the fifth here at Lighthouse Point, it's a par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
When you stand on this tee, Rich, you don't see any fairway bunkers, but be careful. It can certainly fool you. The goal really with the Cliffs course is to find fairways.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got to weigh a little bit on that tee ball. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
There's out of bounds over there.
Needs to get lucky. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Solid play, heart of the green. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Moving on to hole number 6, par 3 of 198 yards. You can't ask for much more than that. About 5 feet away. Beautifully done. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. It's putt for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the 7th hole here at Lighthouse Point. Frank, we all love the shorter par 4s.
There's so many decisions to be made here at 7. If you look at the scorecard, it's not very long, but when you start to flash your driver down that right side, you'll notice that fairway gets very narrow. So the decision is really that's the prudent play or not. From there, it's just a short iron in, and you should be looking at birdie.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
Repetitive is often sounds boring. This is just shot after shot, and it's anything other than that. Spectacular.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Getting set at the 8th hole. It's a par 3 of 165 yards. Break it down for us, partner.
This gets really narrow in the middle of this green, Rich. That's sort of the biggest problem. Matter of fact, only had 12 yards from that left side to the right in the middle. And the green itself actually is 3 times that in length, 36 yards. So straightness is the key here.
Getting set now over the putt. No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Now to the par 5 9th. Frank, what are we looking at here?
Well, for the longer hitters, it's actually a chance to reach a par 5 and 2. 300 yards is where that fairway starts to bend more to the left. So if you do the math, it's going to give you roughly 250 yards to the middle sort of front left of that green. That's the easy way to play the hole. Make a mistake off the tee and you might find out this is a more difficult three-shotter than what you were anticipating. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Great shot. Get the birdie. Excellent front side. Trying to keep it going here on the second nine.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there, and right down Peachtree. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Good chance at one. That one inside of 10 feet, really dialed in. Not a gimme, but well within his range. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Standing over the ball here at the par 5 11th.
There's something about a well-hit shot.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Second from an excellent lie. I think this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it, send it.
Well, that one didn't work out. It didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
So this is the third shot to the par 5. Yes, he's holed it.
Unbelievable. From that distance.
Back here now at the 12th hole, par 4, 439 yards. Frank to the center of this green off the black tees.
And if the breeze blows left to right, this hole plays very hard. One of the reasons why, just through the fairways littered with bunkers. So not only do you have to pick the right line, but somehow you've got to get that ball the right distance as that hole bends completely to the left. Rather interesting shaped green here at 12.
This is a stiff test, no doubt. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Frank, can one small tweak from an instructor lead to a big turnaround?
With the right player, yeah. You just want to hear the right message. It's like anyone in life. You just want to be pointed in the right direction.
Down, little Sheba. Down. Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Count that. That's a birdie. Now to the 13th hole, and Frank, this could make you quake in your soft spikes. 702 yards, par 5. It might be a par 6 or a 7.
Well, I think a few people will make 6 or 7 here. You're right. This is a rarity in golf, 700 yards. So forget about any thought of even getting close to this par 5 and 2. Plus, just to add insult to injury, the 2 bunkers off the tee are perfectly placed. They're about 298 yards, smack bang in the middle of that. I doubt you can get past those, but you need a good drive, really, to try and leave yourself a short third shot.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. And that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. He's made it. On to the 13th, and Frank, I love golf courses where you run into something you've never seen before. I have never played a par 5 of 700 or more yards. Here it is. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Settles in over the putt. Fifteenth hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Yeah, second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand left and that little pot bunker on the right. And you should be set up with a relatively short iron in to a green. Really, the only problem is if you go long.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Drops for a birdie. And another fun hole here at Lighthouse Point. It's the last par 3 on the back 9 as we begin this closing stretch. 241 yards downhill. Par 3 16th.
It was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Second shot coming out of the rough here. And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Seventeenth hole is another par 5, 613 yards. Frank, how do you play it?
Only the longest hitters can get here in 2. It's two big hits, that's for sure. S-shaped fairway, so if you can't reach the par 5 and 2, you can still plot your way down there for a nice little pitch, and really great opportunity to get one back off the scorecard.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design.
Well, that's the best that was going to be, on the fringe.
Not too bad. Well, Frank, this is something we've seen more and more of in recent years, players just on the fringe.
Yeah, it's good to see. It shows he's thinking. You don't just have to grab the lob wedge. That's it. Hybrid putt.
No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Well, Frank, I love this par 5 17th. Not only is it fun to play, but if you head over the Juniata Crossway Bridge ahead, you can find Brent's Lobster Shack, which is one of the best lobster rolls I have ever had. And you know, they specialize in that up here in Maine. But what a hole. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Birdie try again here today. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. That wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Mid-Season Classic. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo here today calling the action from the cliffs at Lighthouse Point. And Frank, this course features some breathtaking scenery.
It certainly does, Rich. Changes of elevation, and it's in phenomenal shape. We've got to send our thanks out to the superintendent, Peyton Duncan, who's got the course exactly primed. You should enjoy it. You should enjoy the views. Take your camera as well. This is very scenic up in New England.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact first and foremost that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
And getting ready for the putt. And he makes it for par. Now on the tee at the par 3 second, it's a long one. This will require a pure strike. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot. Second shot.
And he's made the green. Good roll. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo back with you at the third hole here at the Cliffs. And this is a hole that offers up a chance to put a red number on the board, Frank.
It certainly does. A good drive finding this very narrow fairway will certainly give you the opportunity to reach the green in two. Straight a little left, either with the drive or the second, and all of a sudden you might realize this par 5 has teeth.
Set for his next shot from a good position in the fairway. Starting off the round very well here, Frank, hitting fairways.
Yeah, like any sport, really, you've got to get off to a good start. We always have that unattainable goal of perfection, but really that's what drives us forward.
Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Ooh, what a shot right there. Beautifully done. Fourth hole is 411 yards, par 4. And Frank, this is the kind of hole where you want to pull out the cell phone and take a few pictures. The views are absolutely stunning.
See that bit with a mow? That's fairway. Try and get it in there. Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Getting set now over the putt. That is a solid par putt. Now at the 5th here at Lighthouse Point, it's a par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
When you stand on this tee, Rich, you don't see any fairway bunkers, but be careful. It can certainly fool you. The goal really with the Cliffs course is to find fairways.
Good contact, good result. That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Headed for the bunker. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Continues to roll the ball very well. Par 3 6th is relatively short, 198 yards, Frank.
But this one, really, you've got to go airborne here. That bunker that protects the left side and front, you've got to carry that and get it to land soft so it doesn't skip through the back of the screen.
Superb shot.
That's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Good putt. Par 4 7th here at Lighthouse Point is only 370 yards. Frank, are you unhappy if you walk out of here with anything other than a birdie?
I think we'll see all sorts of different scores here, Rich. If you hit the fairway, then obviously you're definitely going to be looking at birdie. But you stray or hit the wrong club off the tee, that's really what this hole's about. It's about club selection. You could hit a multitude of clubs off this tee.
See if our featured player can do something right today.
Yeah, when you're swinging well, obviously target looks as big as a barn, but on days like today, everything looks difficult.
Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Well, a bit unusual. A third par 3 now on this front side. We're at the 8th. It's 165 yards, Frank.
And this par 3 looks nothing like the previous two. It heads towards the edge of the cliff there. Long green, almost a figure 8 or an hourglass shape. Bunkers left and right. Going to have to be straight here.
Settles in over the putt. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Good par. We move to the 9th hole and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard and it says this is the number 6 handicap hole. That's pretty tough.
It is, and the reason why is there's trouble both sides of this fairway, and that's normally sand and cliffs, and the designer's really thrown the boat out, excuse the pun. We are on the coastline here. This whole dog legs to the left, and ideally you just sort of like to go fairway, fairway pitch. That's the prudent way to play the hole. But, of course, everybody likes to chance the driver and reach the par 5 and 2. Miss, pay the price.
Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. You've got 5 minutes to find it.
And setting up here in the rough. That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I tell you, a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Second shot, good look at the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Standing over the ball here at the par 5 11th. Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards. And more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club, or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Back here now at the 12th hole, par 4, 439 yards, Frank, to the center of this green off the black tees.
And if the breeze blows left or right, this hole plays very hard. One of the reasons why, just through the fairways littered with bunkers. So not only do you have to pick the right line, but somehow you've got to get that ball the right distance as that hole bends completely to the left. Rather interesting shaped green here at 12.
This is a stiff test, no doubt. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. He'll take par and move on. On to the 13th, and Frank, I love golf courses where you run into something you've never seen before.
He's gone for a little extra.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Now to the par 3 14th. It is 240 yards. What a golf course, Frank. I mean, this tests the best in the world. I'm talking about McIlroy and Jordan Spieth and Ricky Fowler. 700-yard par 5s and nearly 600-yard par 4s. This is all you want.
It certainly is, and that's why the total yardage of this golf course is nearly 7,700 yards. This par 3, just a beast at 240 yards. One thing you want to do, though, is avoid Lake Zimmer. It's a big body of water to the right. If anything, though, look at the green. It shapes a little to the right, so you can use that left side of the green, which is a... No, Rich, that was a huge putt. You don't expect to make them from that distance.
15th hole, and Frank, a return to sanity. 387 yards, par 4.
Yeah, second easiest hole on the golf course. Bends a little to the left. Just avoid the sand left and that little pot bunker on the right. And you should be set up with a relatively short iron in to a green that really, the only problem is if you go long.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
but one that you need to make. A cursory look at the scorecard, Rich, and, well, it looks hard at 240 yards, but that elevation is going to chew off quite a bit of yardage off the scorecard. Really, it's a good chance for a birdie on this closing stretch. V-shaped green, as long as you're on the right section of the green, could have a chance for birdie.
See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Trying to make yet another birdie. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one. Well, really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
Now at the 17th, and Frank a chance to make a birdie. Who knows, with a couple of huge pokes, you could make Eagle 3. This is a pretty stout hole at a little bit more than 600 yards.
It is, especially if that breeze comes off the water into your face. But normally you're protected here because the hills on the left will block that breeze. Bunkers all the way down the right side, you can see that. But yeah, you're right, 2 big hits, and you might just reach this par 5 and 2. Birdie, perhaps even eagle on a good day.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Chance to get it close here. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Now this for birdie. Came away with par in the previous round. Drops for a birdie. Well, at last we're at number 18, and Frank, I have really enjoyed this golf course, and now when you see the lighthouse in the distance, it really makes it that much more special.
It is. The beacon will always take you home, and speaking of home, this finishing hole, it bends to the left. A good tee shot will somehow find the fairway and just leave you a short iron in, and of course, you make 3 here, and then that smile's going to light up like a beacon.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Just a fantastic week of golf. Add that one to the win count.
A lot of great quality players out there, and to come on top of that leaderboard is truly a great accomplishment.